Pastor Matthew Stuckey here from Verity Baptist Church, and I wanted to give you some quick information on our missions trip coming up here in less than 2 weeks. Videos like this are always hard because you can easily leave out information or things you don't consider, or the video can be super long, and I'll try to make it as brief as possible and cover the main things. If you have any questions, you can email me, send me a message on Facebook, WhatsApp group or whatever. But the missions trip is starting on February 19th. Monday, and it's going to be ending on February 25th, which is a Sunday. However, a lot of people are showing up early. So February 17th, which is a Saturday, we do have our all-day soul winning at Quezon Memorial Circle, like we always have. It starts at 10 a.m., meeting just in front of the Tropical Hut, so 10 to 12, and then lunch is provided by church, and then around 2 p.m. we go back out from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. That is our normal time. That's the schedule we have. But people stay at Quezon Memorial Circle for many hours past that. I think it stays open until 9 p.m. So if you're coming late or you want to go later on, you're welcome to stick around and go soul winning until 5, 6, 7, 8, especially on a mission trip. People are excited. So absolutely go for it. But 10 to 12, lunch provided by church, and 2 to 4 are official soul winning times. Then we have church on Sunday, February 18th. Our first church service, Pastor Kevin Sepulveda is going to be preaching for us. We're very excited about that. He's coming from Australia. He pastors a couple churches out in Australia. And then I'll be preaching the other service. Now, the way that we do things here at Verity Baptist Church in the Philippines is a bit different than other churches. Our services are basically back to back. So we have our first service, and then we have a short 10-minute break, and we have our second service. When Pastor Jonathan Shelley was with us recently, we moved the soul winning time back a little bit. I'm planning to do the same for the missions trip, but basically a 10-minute break in between the first and second service. That Sunday, we have our monthly church service in Laguna, which is a good thing because of the fact a lot of people are going to be out of our church because a lot of people are coming early for the missions trip, more than I expected. So we're going to be packing out the building. Now, the location you can find on Google. Type in Verity Baptist Manila. It's in Mangahan, Pasig. And we're going to be having church service there on that Sunday for the back-to-back services. People usually bring lunch and eat lunch, and then we have soul winning shortly after that, which we'll do the same on that Sunday. On our Wednesday night service, it's going to be at 7 p.m. at the same location. And this is a decent distance from Quezon Memorial Circle. So if you choose to just do extra soul winning on Wednesday, I'm perfectly fine with that. If you don't make the church service on Wednesday night, that's fine, no problem. But the same location on Wednesday. However, on Sunday the 25th, so this is the last day of the missions trip, we're not going to be having our church at our normal location in Mangahan, Pasig. And the reason is because we're just not going to have room for everybody that's going to be there. And so our church service is going to be in Cayental, Rizal. This is not very far from our church building. We're right on the border of Metro Manila and the province of Rizal. But it's going to be at the Green Park Village subdivision at the covered court. And we'll give you details during the week. We'll mention in the WhatsApp group, and I'm going to have all this information down below in this video. But for that Sunday, we're going to have our service at 10 a.m., but we're going to be having one church service instead of two. I've already written the sermon for that service. It's going to be a very long sermon, but it's going to give us extra time for fellowship. And then, of course, we'll be doing soul winning on that day as well. So 10 a.m. for Sunday the 25th. Now, a couple other things I want to mention for this week. First off, when it comes to a missions trip, this is a little bit different than a local church and a normal weekly routine. I'm not trying to micromanage every detail of the missions trip. I mean, you're coming here. You can vacation when you want. You can go soul winning when you want. Honestly, we have a lot of people coming here, and so it'd be impossible for me to micromanage all of these things. So whatever you want to do is perfectly fine. But when it comes to vacationing, some of the spots you might want to look at are Tagaytay. There's areas in Rizal that are really nice. In Clark, Pampanga. There's also in Metro Manila, the Mall of Asia and SM Mega Mall are two of the 10 biggest malls in the world. The Venice Grand Canal Mall I actually like even more. It's not as big, but it's very scenic. It's supposed to be like Venice. It's very nice. There's also a lot of great spots that you could fly to for tourism. Obviously, Metro Manila is like the New York City or the San Francisco or the Los Angeles of the Philippines. So packed area, a lot of pollution, traffic, things such as that. But there's a lot of amazing things to do in Metro Manila, in the Philippines, and also in Metro Manila as well. So these are some of the things that you can consider. I will say this, that there's a lot of traffic in Metro Manila, probably more than you're used to, even if you're in a big city in the US. So things are going to take you longer than you expect. And so if you're trying to travel to a really nice destination spot, your drive, you might think it's going to be 2 hours. It could easily be 4 hours, and stuff could take a lot longer than you expect. So you need to plan on that. But I would say that if you're planning to go touring, do tourism, I would recommend, if you want to take a whole day for tourism, you do it during the week and not on the weekend and not on Saturday. Obviously, Sunday's a church day, but Saturday is going to be our best soul winning day. There's going to be so many people at Quezon Memorial Circle, so many people to talk to. So I'd recommend maybe Thursday or something like that. After the Wednesday service, take Thursday to do some tourism. I'd also recommend, if you do your tourism, on a daily basis, if you want to try to go to some different places, consider doing it in the morning, because our soul winning is going to be a lot better in the afternoons, because there's going to be so many more people at the parks, near the schools, and things like that. So those are some of the things to consider. But obviously, you can do what you want. You can take vacation whenever you want. With soul winning, Quezon Memorial Circle is a great spot, especially Saturdays. There's a ton of people. It's great for families, because the kids have areas that they can play. There's a lot of restaurants, shaded areas, places to sit. It doesn't really feel like Metro Manila. But if we have a ton of people coming during the week, like showing up at 10 a.m. on Monday, Tuesday, there's just not going to be enough people to talk to on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. So we're going to have to send people to some different locations. So with that being said, I'm perfectly okay if a group of people decide, I want to check out this area or this area, and kind of do their own thing. Honestly, I'm not trying to micromanage every detail. And honestly, it would make things a little bit easier for us, because we have a ton of people that are coming for this. Now, there's no problem. You can stay in the main group and we can send you to different locations. But, realistically, we're not going to have enough people at Quezon Memorial Circle to have everybody soul winning there on a Monday or on a Tuesday, at least in the morning or the afternoons. And then later on, you end up having a lot more people, but not early on in the morning. Some of the other spots that we have thought about, someone mentioned the WhatsApp group, UP Diliman. That's a great spot, especially in the afternoon. People speak English and are very confident with it. There's a lot of people you can talk to. That's a great spot that people can go. A spot that's a little bit further away, but is also a great spot, is Intramuros. That is near our old missions trip area near Rizal Park. So it's a bit of a drive there, but it's a great area, and you'll have a lot of people to talk to right by the colleges there. We're trying to get into schools, prisons, and foundations right now. Things are a lot more strict in the Philippines than they were a few years ago, due to COVID and maybe some other factors. And so we're not sure how many opportunities there's going to be there. But with those opportunities, it might be one where you have to travel to be a part of it. We'll obviously update you during the week in the WhatsApp group and the Facebook group and things like that, to let you know. Some other things to mention: download Grab before you come. Grab is like Uber. Join our WhatsApp group. If you're not sure, how to join, message me or whatever. I'll send you the details. I'm going to start a Facebook group for this as well. I think Facebook and WhatsApp are probably the best ways to stay in contact with one another. And just one thing I wanted to mention on the soul winning before I move on. You might ask this question: is there a language barrier here in the Philippines? Well, here in the Philippines, people watch movies and watch TV shows and listen to music that is American, but they also teach in English in schools. So generally, with the younger crowd, there's not really a language barrier. There can certainly be with the older generation, but not usually with the younger generation. I mean, generally, if people are younger, they speak it completely fluently. But here's what's interesting in the Philippines: people have a humble view of their English speaking abilities. There are countries where people are going to say they're fluent in speaking English, and then you listen and they're definitely not fluent. Here, there's a lot of people that would say they don't speak English, but they're actually fluent. They're just not very confident in their English speaking abilities. They're maybe worried about their accent, or maybe you have to slow down a little bit when you speak English to them, but they're actually completely fluent in English. And so what I would say is there's not really a language barrier for most of the people you're going to talk to, but there's a perceived language barrier in their mind. And so what I would say is I've seen some people come to the Philippines and they have no problem speaking to people and giving the gospel, and other people, they sense a hesitation on the other side from the person, and then all of a sudden they kind of get self-conscious, and then they're just like, oh, well, they can't understand English, and they just move on. And they're doing that conversation after conversation. What I would say is have confidence. Most of the time, they do actually speak English very well, but they just have a humble and a shy view of their English speaking ability. And so you need to be confident because of the fact if you kind of hesitate and you make it kind of awkward, it's kind of like the conversation is probably not going to go anywhere. So maybe they're going to be a bit awkward and a bit shy, but if you're confident and realize in the back of your head, they probably speak it really well. I just have to make them feel comfortable. Then you're going to have a lot of success here. And so generally, there's not really a language barrier, especially as we're going to be targeting the younger crowd anyway when you go to a park because they're more likely to get saved than if they're older. And so these are a lot of the main details. I'm sure there's a lot of things that I was not able to cover in this. But general soul winning times is like 10 a.m. is the general starting time. But really, you can go soul winning till late at night there in Case Memorial Circle. And early in the morning, there's not going to be as many people there. But so you're welcome to start your soul winning in the afternoon if you want. And I'll mention more. If you have any questions, just let me know, and I'll mention more in the group chats because I'm not sure I fully articulated myself well enough. But anyways, these are some of the main details, and hey, we're excited to have you here for the missions trip. And our goal here in the Philippines is to help you have a great time, and we want to make you feel as comfortable as possible. If you need help getting taxis or grabs, we don't want you to be intimidated. It's a new country. There's a lot of people here. Things work a little bit differently. We're here to help you out, and we're sure you're going to have a great time. So anyways, let me just say welcome to the Philippines, and thank you for coming for a mission trip. Thank you, and God bless.